Well, hello everybody, and welcome back to GBear's Off-Grid Ways, a homestead in the desert. Here we are on April 7th, 5:38 p.m., and this is 2019. Don't worry about the clouds and the rain. It always says that. When it's sunny, it says rain. When it's raining, it says sunny. So somebody messed up the software on that thing. Anyway, the wind's at light now. I got up this morning and there was absolutely no wind. It just dropped from 80 to 79 just now at this time in the evening. And it is it has been a beautiful day out there. I wanted to catch that up first and then step outside. And another thing is, I keep forgetting, but I do have this Verizon Jetpack, and this is wireless internet. And you add this to your Verizon phone service for around $20 a month. This has a brand new SIM card in it. All it has to be is activated. And I'm selling this for $35, and that includes shipping. If you want insurance, that's an extra $10. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is. But yeah, this thing is like brand new. I used it for like 2 weeks out here. And I had to change over to the cradle point, as you've seen in my other videos, because this doesn't give you the option of plugging in peripherals like printers and camera systems and things like that. This is just wireless. So if you want all wireless connections, this will handle, I think, like 10, 5 to 10, somewhere in there. You have to check the actual paperwork on it. Everything's in there. It's brand new. I use it for a couple of weeks. It's super fast and it's great, and it's $20 a month for your internet. And if you've got cell phone service where you're at with Verizon, that thing will give you internet. All right. So today the weather started out beautiful. No wind whatsoever. As calm as can be. 0 miles per hour. So the first thing I did was I went down and put the shade cloths on the garden house. We'll get to that in a minute. Then I came over and I trenched the rest of the way, and I got all of the electrical running the whole distance. And I have to troubleshoot. Something is going on. I'm not sure what it is, but when I turn on the 60 amp breaker, I get a direct short. So I got to figure out what's going on with that. That's why I reopened this box here, and all my connections seems to be fine. But what I do is I disconnect the wires, and then from this point here, go in and turn the breaker on. If it doesn't short, then there's something in the wire run, and then I have to track back through the wire run to see what's going on in there. If it does short when I turn it on, then apparently there's something wrong with the breaker, or the wires coming from the breaker panel down to here. So not a big deal. It just gives me something else to do. All right, we're gonna head over to the chickens, because I did promise my friend Bill that I would show him when he gave me the big bag of greens from his garden, things that have gone to seed already and things like that. And I feed those to the chickens. So they've been out free ranging all day today, and you can see they're all gathered up here in the corner just waiting for me to bring them a treat. So we're going to go in and give them some greens, and you'll see how they love these greens. And I got a bag full of them here, and I keep them in this barrel so that the other critters don't get to them. And there's one that I gave them yesterday. They stripped it right down to the stems. So when it gets down to the stems like that, what I do is I put them in my compost bin and let them break down. All right, so we're opening up the door, and you'll see them all run out. They want to come out and see what's going on. But now they're going to follow me right back in with this bag. Come on, girls. Let's go inside and get some greens. I also have been running Home Depot sand through my sluice box, because I heard somebody say on YouTube that they found gold in it. Well, I found about 15 cents worth of gold in a full bag. So the sand is all washed, and I put it out here so they have grit to grind up their food. All right, they're all waiting for their treats, so we're going to get in here and get some out. All right, look at that. Here we go, girls. Look at them go at it. They're just having a ball. They love those greens. So that'll keep them busy for a while. And I've got enough for a couple more days. So I'll put this back where it belongs. And we'll head on out and move on to the next item. All right. I was going to go into town today and get a few items I needed, but a group of dirt bikers pulled in with campers and trucks down there by that power pole, and then I saw one guy coming flying up right across the desert, making jumps in the air, and he got to my road, saw my no trespassing signs, and did a lockup on the brakes and fired up a bunch of dust. And then he zipped on back down the road again, and then later on another one came from that direction and came down my dirt road, just checking me out. So I decided I was going to stay here for the day and make sure they're all gone now. And tomorrow is the start of a work week, so I'm sure that they'll be gone. All right, moving on down the road. While I'm walking over, I'll tell you, I did some water transfer today, and I transferred some water out of my rain barrels up there by the back corner of my cabin, down through the hose here, and I watered the garden inside, and I have some more corn to transplant. I also refilled all these barrels, and I have a bad habit of turning on the self-watering garden and leaving it on, and I don't like doing that. All I have to do is fill up the trough, and that's good for 4 days or 5 days, and then fill it up again and let it go for 4 or 5 days, so forth and so on. Anyway, look at how everything's doing here. Nice potatoes there, and my wild California wheatgrass, and my cilantro, my green onions, my carrots, and look how happy everything got. And that's because, if you'll notice, I have got shade screen around this edge here. I started it at the door out on the outside, went all the way around, and it just happened that they had an 8x16 piece, which is, this is 8 foot tall on the height of this grow house, so it fit perfectly right on the top 2x4, right down to the bottom 2x4, and it breaks the wind. So I'm standing here right now, even though there's a little bit of a wind turning my turbine out there. Right here, it's just a light breeze coming through, so it does break the wind a little bit, and you see the just getting a little bit on the corn, a little movement on the corn. I'm going to get another piece and put it right down the door. I think the Home Depot sells a 3 foot wide roll by 15 feet long or something like that. I'll get that and just coat that door down. I don't need one on that other section over there because the wind, like I said, comes from that direction right there. So I just want to protect the garden here. All right, look at my my pear tree, just full of blossoms. I got some here ready to bud. I got a whole bunch of them up there, down here. That just kicked off. And here's my apple tree. You remember just a few days ago there was just a couple of leaves on here. Look at it now. It's really happy. So over there, the nectarine, same thing. The peach, for some reason, it looked like it started drying up a little bit, so I gave it a little extra water and some goat juice and see if that picks up. And the same thing with my plum. I don't know what's going on. It's got some fresh growth there, so it's still happy, and I got some fresh growth down here. And I gave that some go juice also. So I'll hit it with a little bit more water here before I close up for the evening, and make sure that that's taken care of. All right, I also put another big shade cloth across there. That's a 12 by 16. And now I got 2/3 of the house is covered with shade cloth. And that keeps the sun from the hottest part of the day from beating down on my plants. So that's a 60% shade cloth. Takes 60% of the sun out. And I'm interested is that this one that's right above us is supposed to be a 12 by 16 also, and look how short it is over there, and it's the same length on this side. And then the new one I got actually goes down further than that first one. So what they cheated me on that one, I got back on that one. So if you're smart, next time you go to Harbor Freight and buy a shade cloth, be sure to pull it out of the bag and measure it, and if it's not the right size, take it back and say, hey, I want what I'm paying for, because they cheat you a little bit like that. That's fine with me. This will work out great. All right, got some more carrots growing over here, and some my green onions over here, and I used a couple of those hooks outside, so I pulled the baskets down. And I got some new sprouts coming up over here, and some new sprouts coming up over here, and over here, and so forth, and over here, and over here. And I'm not sure what that is, but we'll find out when it gets a little taller. Note to self, always mark stuff as you put it in the ground. All right, I picked up some extra corn. This one actually has 3 in it. And then these others have 3 in it also. There's a little baby one down there. So I will get those into the ground. And this is a sweet yellow hybrid. And that's a sugar white corn, sweet corn. So I'll get these in. Probably I might do them down a little further, keep them away so they don't cross-pollinate, and see how we do out of that. Okay, my parsley is springing back to life. It lived through the transplant. You see right there, there's some fresh sprouts coming right up out of the center. So yeah, it's taken. It's doing well. My peppers are doing well. My broccoli's doing well. I got a few more strawberries on my strawberry plants. And then down here, this is a jalapeno pepper. It looks healthy. These, I think I figured out what they were. They've tripled in size since I took them out of the pot they were growing in with the tree. And they've tripled in size since I put them into the soil. But I think what those are peas. And I think they're burpee sweet peas. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total of 8 of those plants in here. We'll see how they do. And I got them in here, Burpeeana's, Burpeeana Earlies by Burpee. So we'll see how those do. And you see little stringers coming out. That's what makes me believe that they are peas. All right. With all of that being said, we're going to move on up here. Take a look at everything that was going. Oh yeah, look at my grapevines. They are really happy. Got some fresh sprouts coming out down here. And they've tripled in size since I put them in just last week. So they're liking it. Tomatoes are doing really well. My lettuce here, I just come out and I pluck a couple of leaves off of there for my sandwich, take them in, wash them under some fresh water, and I make a sandwich. And this got 3 different types of lettuce growing in one bunch, so it's pretty interesting. Here's my tangerine. This is mandarin tangerine, and look at all the new fresh baby growth on there. So that one is taken, doing great. I got some shishito sweet peppers here, and that's a solar fire heat resistant tomato. It's a hybrid, and it is determinate. Yeah, this is a determinate, but it's a solar fire. It's designed to handle the desert heat. So let's see how that does. Cucumbers didn't make it. They just said, bye, I'm out of here. And they, both of them, this one and that one. So I'll plant some fresh seeds. Those were Home Depot plants. I'll plant some fresh seeds and see how I do with those. My beefsteak has got buds on it. And my cherry, my husky cherries, has got buds on it. And over here, my zucchini is starting to spread out a little bit. And my Italian oregano is really getting happy in there. All right, last but not least, on the way out the door, here's rosemary. And it's no longer Rosemary's baby, it's Rosemary's toddler now. And it's growing up fast. And I forget who it was that said, if the rosemary grows like everything else in this place, it'll be large in no time. Well, it's getting up there. I don't know if I'll be able to use any of that rosemary this year. Maybe towards the end of the year, this thing will probably be up here about this tall, and I'll be able to take a few sprigs off of it. And like I said, I like to throw that when I'm roasting a chicken on the charcoal barbecue. I'll take a couple of sprigs and throw them on at late in the cooking. I'll throw them right onto the coals and put the cover on the barbecue and smoke it with the rosemary's flavored smoke. Oh my God, that is so good. All right, before I make myself any hungrier, I'm gonna cut this one off and head on inside. I've covered everything I wanted to cover today, and we'll be back again as soon as I do some more work. GBear reminding you, give me a thumbs up down there, please. And also, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. If you have subscribed, thank you. And remember, you newcomers, it doesn't cost anything to subscribe. Click on that subscribe. The little bell will pop up. Hit the little bell, and you'll be notified when I put new videos out. So you won't miss anything. And then in the meantime, in between videos, you can go back through my other videos. There's over 300 of them in there, and there's different watch lists that you can get on and watch 100 videos in a row and see all kinds of stuff that I've done out here. That's all. GBear signing off.